We remember September 11th as if it were yesterday, and we remember every life lost.
There is something about anniversaries that, I guess, focus it. You do remember a little more.
This country was united from sea to shining sea, and today, maybe now would be a good time to let the divisiveness drop, let the knee-jerk vitriol drop. Just take a minute to pause and look deep into your own soul.
Well, so many of us remember exactly where we were 20 years ago on 9/11, but we have a whole generation of young adults who don't have that firsthand perspective of the day which changed our world.
There was only one victim from Arizona, and today his family is opening up for the first time in years to share some perspective on their healing.
We'd like to thank all of our family and friends who are here today to share in our happiness.
Gary was my number one on this earth.
Donna Kiloby Bird has had 20 years adjusting to life without her greatest love.
On the morning of 9/11, I'm getting ready in the bathroom and I hear that we have breaking news. As I went in and looked at the visual, my heart stopped.
We're looking at probably some casualties.
Her husband Gary was training for a new job in New York on 9/11.
I knew he had a meeting at the World Trade Center.
She immediately called his boss.
I said, please turn on the TV and tell me if that's your building.
I remember waking up, seeing that.
Andrew was only 13.
For me, it was a shutdown moment.
Donna remembers taking the kids to school relying on routine when reason failed.
As time's going on, it's getting worse, not better.
Gary was in the second tower, the first to fall.
There is smoke in the air over the Pentagon.
A third hijacked plane hit the Pentagon, then another went down in a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
Something gave me the ability to just turn it over to a higher power. Soon thereafter, my heart felt peaceful.
Through faith, she found strength to share her story.
Ran to the phone and called his cell number and said, just call me. But he never called.
I was angry and resentful and bitter and distant.
Andrew says it took about a decade to snap out of that spiral.
My purpose as a mom was to not get lost in the grief.
The Tempe Healing Fields were started to honor Gary. Strangers shared stories of how his life impacted theirs.
And my dad was the guy that I was always aspiring to be.
He was always present.
Camping, hiking, skiing, scuba diving, successful and humble, utterly devoted to his family.
His whole life of love and service and kindness and caring, that was Gary.
You'll find the story of Arizona's native son at the memorial in Manhattan. Donna and Andrew went for the first time in the fall right before the pandemic.
It's intense. It's pretty intense.
So much symbolism and perspective, this tile wall, a tapestry of different shades of the same color, one square for each victim.
He was just one name among many. His name was the same font as everybody else on that wall.
It's true. And you look up and there's that white subway station thing that looks like bird wings. Bird, bird.
Now that Gary's been gone almost as long as he was in her life, sharing his story again now is a reminder for all of us to live each day with honor and no regrets.
We frequently would say to each other, wow, we could be dead tomorrow. I don't have regrets. What I ultimately knew is that I was loved by Gary the entire time that he was with us. I had no doubt. And he knew that I loved him.